Hey everyone, good evening. It's Scott at Scott Trades on Twitter with StockMarketMentor.com and your chart of the day. Watch to drink in this chart of lemonade. This is ticker LMND. Now let's tell the story of this chart. And so what we have from Lemonade is an IPO move right off the bat, bullish engulfing candlestick. Everyone FOMOs into this new trade, and then ultimately buyers kind of run out of gas, stock sells off. Then the stock rebounds and ends up topping in and around the same time that the market topped. And of course, the Federal Reserve started raising interest rates at the fastest pace in human history. The stock was pretty much untradeable for multiple years until it started developing this base. Now, if you are an IPO trader, you would assume that this base is what they call the institutional due diligence phase of a stock. And essentially what that means is it's institutions doing their due diligence, figuring out if a stock is good or not good. And you can see that this stock has positive earnings. And within that period, we see the stock just kind of living in and around this 200-day moving average. At some point, the 200-day moving average, the black line, ends up acting as support. And we can see buyers stepping in every time this gets under that 200-day moving average. The buyers step in again and again. And so that's a really great signal that you want to see on a stock because, again, that's showing institutions who have done their due diligence throughout this choppy bottoming phase are stepping in because they like the stock, they like the story, they like the earnings, and any dip down around that 200-day moving average ends up being bought. Finally, in 2024, we get a trend change here on Lemonade. On earnings, we see the stock break up, break out, and do it on way heavier than average volume, some of the heaviest volume that this stock had traded in within a year. The stock then follows the market higher and then kind of gets tired in and around November, which, let's be honest, we were all kind of tired by middle of November. And then we saw the stock retest that 200-day moving average once again. And what happened? Once again, the institutions stepped in and stick saved this stock. So clearly that 200-day moving average on Lemonade is an institutional support zone. And that's definitely an area that you want to be aware of just in case the stock ultimately breaks down under the 200-day moving average. You know, okay, they've come in to save this stock time and time again around this level. When they stop coming in to save it, that's probably when it's time to step aside. But at least right now, we have Lemonade in and around a cluster of moving averages. We have the 50-day, the 21-day, and the 8-day exponential all kind of bunched together. And today we had an upside reversal and a pretty bullish engulfing candlestick coming on okay volume. Now, the stock is still just consolidating, right? Like this is a volatile chart with big ups and big downs. And so I would love to see the stock continue to go sideways for a little bit here and just kind of build that base of consolidation in and around these moving averages here, the cluster moving averages I pointed out earlier. Now, if that doesn't happen, a way to get into the stock could be a breakout of this clear downward sloping trend line coming on volume. And so I would have a breakout alert on Lemonade, and I would look for a move and a close above that level coming on volume. So you want to see the stock do this, and you want to see that close above that level. Now, the reason you want to see the close above that level is because time and time again, we see sellers step in, and you can tell that by these wicks of the candles. And so we don't want a fake out here. We don't want the stock to come up here, but then close down here. And so you definitely want to watch for a move above and a close above that $38, $39 level coming on volume for Lemonade to signal a potential trend change and maybe a test of some of these previous highs, like up here at 44, up here at 48, and maybe even over here at 54. So that's what I would do here on Lemonade. Watch for that breakout. It could come tomorrow. It may take a couple of weeks to grind around these moving averages, but I think if it can do that, we have clear long-term support in and around the 200-day moving average, and we have some swing targets up here in the low $50 range for you to take profits on. So that's just one of many charts we're looking at tonight at StockMarketMentor.com. I hope that video was helpful. Hey, give me a follow on Twitter if you don't already, at Scott Trades. I'll see you in the next one.